here. Today we're talking about Xbox because the last 48 hours has been an extremely strange time to watch the entire internet 100% turn against Xbox.
Just like PlayStation fanboys turned against Sony because they don't care about exclusives anymore. Matter of fact, how come we haven't seen a video on this situation, man? You did like a 5-second snippet, but instead we rather keep talking about the Xbox layoffs that we've been hearing for the past 5 days. Let me guess, Everwild Perfect Dark got canceled. Scalebound. That's all you people say. They never recovered from the Xbox One generation. Scalebound would have been the game that made me buy the console when you guys have been saying this for all the games that have been dropping on Xbox. And now that they're dropping on PS5, now you buying them on that console. What are you talking about, bruh? You PlayStation fanboys ain't nothing but a bunch of losers. And the fact that we keep still talking about this crap just shows you that you guys have an inherent hate towards Microsoft. And that's fine, man. That's kind of what fanboys do anyway. But my point still stands is the fact that Perfect Dark was, 6 to 7 years in development just to find out that the gameplay, which we all thought was gameplay, wasn't even it. It was just something that they put out for a trailer. Now, you got to look at it, man. I mean, as a person, if you work and you ain't doing your job, what makes you think the company's going to want to still have you there? Now, I'm not saying that people can't be disappointed. I was looking forward to that game. But you people know that if you're telling me that Microsoft had the initiative, which they, co-created for this Perfect Dark game, and you're telling me that you don't even have, not even a glimpse of gameplay, do you really still think that you're going to be at the company? I mean, if you say yes, then ain't none of you people working. Because you can't sit there and tell me that a place where you're employed at will keep you on the job if you out here doing 10-hour cigarette breaks. Come on with the garbage, man. At the end of the day, as disappointed as you guys are with Microsoft, that same disappointment needs to also go to the developers. Because how can you be working on a game for 6 to 7 years and the gameplay that you allegedly said that's what it wasn't even it? And then you want to cry on social media like, Lord Fry, this is unacceptable. They laying people off. Yeah, maybe because the vast majority of you people ain't doing anything. I'm sorry, that's not damage controller. That's just me being honest.
From Xbox YouTubers to fan accounts to PlayStation people, but also...
And what's even worse, when did gamers really talk about this, man? Because at the end of the day, we could talk about the games that got impacted. I'm fine with that. But when we keep talking about employees, and when did gamers start doing this? This is starting to be used as console war ammunition, because to be honest with you, I personally don't care. I'm going to be honest with you, and neither of you people do either, because if you did Dreamcast, guy, how about you take the ad revenue that you're probably going to make from this video and, support the developers? Oh, yeah, we know you ain't going to do that, so why are you deciding to open your mouth? I find it so funny that the people that claim that they want to save the world ain't the ones engaging themselves to help contribute to that notion. Have you noticed that? You guys just talk a bunch of nonsense. You want to sit there and take these stances, but yet we already know you wouldn't do that. How about you take the $16,000 donation that you got for your... And the funny thing is, his teeth still looks the same. I thought you said you got your teeth fixed. I mean, I can still see that they're a little crooked. Then how come you ain't taking the rest of that money and giving it to the developers that have lost their jobs? Oh, we know why, guys. Because you really don't care. It's the fact that you people want to act like you care about something. That's even worse than a person that just says, you know what, I don't give a fluff. Because at least you know what you're getting. But when you got these fake people that say, oh, we care about these people while they out here sitting there doing nothing, then you have to ask yourself, what are you talking about?
Good 4th of July, by the way. I ended up grilling a bunch of burgers, drinking booze, having a very high-calorie brunch. It was a very, very, very fun weekend. But now it's Sunday. It's time to talk business. So I saw stuff like this where...
You see, he didn't say gaming. This is a business for him. What did you people expect? It's a business. He didn't say, let's talk gaming. He said, let's talk business. What does business and gaming have anything to do with what we should care about? How can we trust anything Xbox says now? Now, mind you, how can we trust the developers that were working on this game for 6 to 7 years? How come none of you guys are taking that into consideration, saying, yeah, it's very disappointing that this game got canceled, but yes, There's no reason, like, I mean, you guys want to say that Microsoft lied to, but the people that have also worked on this game have lied to us too. They showed us something that they said was gameplay, which wasn't true. And now that Microsoft got to the truth, oh, Microsoft is the evil company. Oh yeah, because you're going to have people employed there working on a game for 6 to 7 years and you're paying them with no progress? And you people want to sit there and say, I could run these trillion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar. No, you cannot. Because you don't have the mental capacity to think that. Unless you would have somebody work under your business for 7 years free while doing absolutely nothing, then no, you don't know how to run a business. Stop the cap, man. This is why people like, yo, GameStar, I appreciate that you said it like that, because these people want to act as if Microsoft owes them anything. They don't. This can happen to everybody. This, should I say it, is not exclusive to any of these employees. Like, come on, man. And the funny thing is, why do we care? The games are still coming out.
The only possible answer here is we probably can't. Don't trust anything any company says. If you think it's just Xbox, then you're in for a rude awakening. Obviously, you can't really trust. You can trust what you play. If they release a game that's good and you're excited for the next game, I think that's valid. But let's face it, companies that make big promises or just try to screw you over and over again,
that's exactly what companies do. You know, it took you this long to realize that. So then why are you a fanboy? Just like you trusted the fact that PlayStation would have put a game on Xbox, and they did. They literally spat in your faces. And you're sitting there eating it up. Now, mind you, if you didn't care, then obviously that's not a problem. But that's what you told people picked up a PS5 for. Right? Ain't these are the type of things that you guys been saying? And all of a sudden that those games are dropping on Xbox that you guys kept saying is dead. Why would PlayStation drop a game on Xbox when you guys told people in the community that the platform is dead? It just goes to show you that you people don't make sense. But like I said, Dreamcast guy, he ain't here for game and he's here for business.
That stuff out there. Trust or don't trust. Here's a focus I've seen of a lot of very controversial talks. A lot of people are almost kind of pissed about this, but Game Pass is unsustainable and damaging, says the founder of Arcane. Larian Studios director agrees. The economics never made sense. Now, I have to admit, a lot of people sent this to me yesterday, and I actually took a bit to even, clock it. This is such a big deal. As a public statement, this is ruinous. This is the most damning tweets I've maybe ever seen. This guy was the head of Arcane, the founder.
Keyword, was. Please tell me he's still working at the company, because if he's not, his opinion is irrelevant. I noticed that all these so-called developers want to come out of the woodworks because they're no longer getting the positions that they want. You know, Laura Fry, and rightfully so. She worked hard at the company. She was one of the founding mothers, right, of Xbox. She sees a person like Sarah Bond coming into the woodwork. And she's like, what? I did more for Xbox. That's how she's looking. She's looking at her value that she brought to the company. Okay? So when somebody says, oh, you shouldn't say that Laura Fryer is not jealous, Gamester, you don't know that. Well, that's just me coming up with things to chime into the conversation. Women do this all the time. You'd be a fool to think that women don't do that. Just because you don't know your value as a person doesn't necessarily mean that a person such as herself that has a high profile of games that she helped work on wouldn't think that. She was like, why wouldn't you? I was here when Xbox was not even that popular. I helped it. Why wouldn't she think that? Ask yourself that. Why wouldn't Laura Fryer think like that when you see a person like Sarah Bond being head president of the company? You'd be a fool. I'd be saying the same stuff she's saying. The hell you talk about? Like, you people are so stupid in this community. Get off Twitter, bro. Like, you people make me disgusted to even want to classify myself as a gamer. What the hell does any of this got to do with gaming? Like, imagine if we did this with everything. Every time I go to McDonald's and I got to tell somebody, people, 10,000 employees got fired today. You're going to have people's girlfriends say, just shut up and buy the cheeseburger for our kids. I don't think I can buy these Happy Meals no more. Or the Lay's chips. Y'all heard about that and how they treat their workers? With the Lay's. Bro, y'all ain't nobody doing this trash, man. I can't believe that this type of behavior has impacted our fine, great gaming community. Because honestly, this is unnecessary. No value was lost there. Yes, we got a few games, but like I've said before, in regards to Perfect Dark, I don't know about all the other stuff, but Perfect Dark, 6 to 7 hours, and you're trying to tell me you ain't got nothing of work? I'm sorry, man. You're gone. I don't care what anybody says. That is unacceptable to the people at Initiative Studios. Then you want to cry, oh, we're getting closed down because you can't get any more money from Microsoft for sitting your behind in your gaming, chairs, doing absolutely nothing at the company. That means this game would have never came out. All they was doing was taking funds from Microsoft to do whatever the hell they wanted. And on top of that, make us believe in the concept that they actually wanted to make a game for us. That, to me, is very disingenuous. We can sit there and blame Microsoft all we want, but I think it's very disingenuous as a consumer that was looking forward to your game and playing, and the trailer that you showed us wasn't even real gameplay. That, to me, is just as bad as what you guys are blaming Microsoft for doing. I'm keeping it 100.
Now we're constantly trying to buy bigger and bigger properties. We're taking our games and selling them on PlayStation. We're trying to put stuff on Nintendo Switch. We're putting stuff on PC. They realize, okay.
What do you think PlayStation's been doing? They've been putting games on Nintendo. They actually started to put games on Xbox. Helldivers 2, one of their prime examples, one of their actual money makers. Bruh. You see, this is my whole thing. It's the fact that you guys act like you're stupid. You act like as if you don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? This is how you know when you're a fanboy. When you play dumb to a situation that you should be fully aware about. Me, I'm still covering these situations. Call me an Xbox fanboy you want, but I'm still touching up on these so-called touchy subjects. But where's your Helldivers 2 video, bud? Where is it? Oh yeah, I forgot. You ain't got one. You did a 5-second snippet. You even went as far to say, I don't know how is this even happening. The fact that you even said that just shows you how lost in the sauce that you people really are.
The problem is that this isn't that kind of project. Xbox isn't tech. It's tech adjacent. It's tech related. But in my opinion, this is art. We're making games. We're making stories that make you cry. We're making worlds.
Hell, bro. Bro. You know how many men probably heard that and been like, what? Make you cry? What?
Matter. We're making these great graphics and cool, interesting articulation and meaning.
Those days is over because I can already explain why. Because 1, those games don't make the money. 2, they don't have a mass appeal. 3, you got free to plays. People don't even see the concept of buying games. This is deeper than Microsoft, man. Why do you think Microsoft came with Game Pass in the first place? Because they knew people were buying less games. They knew it. They knew people weren't picking up Xbox for exclusives. This is where that was their way of saying, okay, let's make it more, I guess, casual appealing for these people that normally wouldn't subscribe to a service. Give them access to games. We're getting money. They're getting money. The companies are getting money. It makes sense. This is why Sony's like, oh, wow, we're selling games, but we ain't making enough money back. Because Sony thought. I mean, I can see that with PS4 because their games sold well. Those same games are not selling as well on PS5 alone. You people know it. Look at Death Stranding 2 for an example. Ain't nobody buying that game.
And I guess I get annoyed because a lot of these CEOs just think of it as a decimal point. Okay, this game that made you cry sells 2.5% more, whereas this game that has loot boxes and free-to-play, that makes 5% more profit. So the free-to-play game with no story, no real fan base.
But how can a free-to-play make more money? It's free-to-play. Game's still with another W. So it's so funny that you guys keep talking about sales, but then you go as far to say that the free-to-play makes more money than the game that you pay for. Bro, I'm done.
That's more important.
No, it's not more important. You guys have advocated for what's important. The gamers have spoken. You know what? Let me tell you something, man. I grew up from the old school. I grew up in all these type of ways, man. I respect the casuals more than I respect y'all. Y'all like, what? What do you mean, GameStop? That's crazy. I always like to trip people out with these, right? And I'm going to explain as to what I mean. I respect them more because these are the games they want. Therefore, these are the games they're getting. Keep complaining about Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto. Keep complaining about it, buddy. But at the end of the day, those casuals put their money where their mouth is. They support the games they want to play. Well, you got these quote-unquote hardcore gaming fools out here, right? You ain't supporting your games. You ain't buying them. Third off, there ain't enough of you fools to even make a dent in the gaming community. You think that your voice is important, even though it's not important anymore, because you're not bringing any money. Games are costing way more money to make, and you guys are still selling 1 million sales. Okay, you are the minority. What makes you think they're gonna think about you over the average day Fortnite player? At least they push their game beyond beliefs that we never thought gaming could ever push. That's why we keep saying that gaming evolved. It never really have evolved. Gaming will evolve though. It's evolving into the free-to-play and online structure method. It is what it is, man. You guys are getting weeded out. You're dinosaurs. There's not enough of you guys still around. You're in the prehistoric era. You know, you guys are gone. And I think that's what's hard for you guys to admit, that you're not important. That's why I say to myself, just enjoy the little things that they do have. Those remasters and remakes, those are for us. I know it sucks. It does. Because I'm tired of seeing them too, especially from all the games that I played. But that is their farewell to us. I hate to say it, because nothing is going to change.
So many people just straight up saying, this is embarrassing. The fact that they're closing so much, axing so much, before it even has a chance to see the light of day, it's embarrassing.
You're talking about the same guy that made Daikatana? Okay.
I have no words for what is happening this week. Phil Spencer showed up to Tingo GameWorks, congratulated them on the awards won by Hi-Fi Rush, takes a group photo, and closed the studio. He did the same thing at Rare, visited them, and then firing the entire team. He is a ghoulish sociopath, a stain on the industry.
You don't even know what's going on. See, this is the problem. This is why we say stuff like fake news. You don't know what's going on at the company. You don't know if Microsoft came in and said, yo, what type of progress we got going on here? Oh, we're working on Everwild. And Microsoft looks at it and say, what's this? Oh, we still in the demo stage, Phil. We're still in the demo. No, but we should have a full game. We're trying to push games through Game Pass. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to have this game come out of the fiscal year. Oh, no. We working on it, Microsoft. And yeah, they'll leave. They'll come back and be like, yo, what's that? Oh, yeah, we added a few trees on this one. Hey, Phil, I don't think that game's going to come out the way we want it to. So, you know what they do? They look at it and say, we cancel it. That's usually what ends up happening. It could be a difference of opinion. It could be a lot of different things. But I'm just saying, those things do happen. I was surprised when even Duke Nukem Forever came out. But clearly you had to be passionate to even remotely get that game out. That's what I'm saying. That game should have been canceled. But it wasn't. That shows you that some of the people that were behind the project, too bad Randy Pitchford had his hands on it. But hey, the game still came out. He knew people was waiting for it. And there was still enough passion to at least get something out there. Right? Just saying. Even though it went from studio to studio, it was ridiculous, man. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. I just don't understand how we went from talking about video games to now talking about employees. Like, what does this have anything to do with me? You know, you shouldn't go to Burger King because they fired a lot of great employees. People still gonna go to Burger King. It is what it is, man. How you think King Thrash got his hat? Take care.